everyone, Princess Sarissa back, and we last left off. RASAR and his friends was just coming up to check on Captain Ferris. He went up to take a nap while his crew basically drank all the alcohol down the pub downstairs. And maybe RASAR had some alcohol too, because he's kind of swooning over Captain Ferris. And now Gallup is too. What's going on there? Maybe they like people with strange colored hair. Doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. I don't know what's going on, but Lena's trying to snap him out of it. Yeah, guys, you got important things to do here. Now Captain Ferris, he came out and he's gonna try to snap them out of it too. So, well, mission accomplished. So, but it looks like Ferris still wants some time to himself. So, well, let's go visit somebody else, some other guy we mentioned earlier, Zoc. Zoc. He's the he lives in that big mansion at the top of the village. We walked by his place earlier. We had a little cutscene there where Lena basically explained that he was the guy who designed the canal that we got to go to. So here he is. Oh, he's surprised to see the princess. I guess she mustn't get out of the castle all that much. So maybe her dad needs to let her get some free roam time. My daddy lets me and my brothers have free roam time every night. Helps keep us exercising and in shape. But looks like Zoc can't help us. That he doesn't have the key to the canal. But he's gonna let us at least stay the night at this place. So, yay, free and healing. So it looks like even though we're getting a free rest here, RASAR looks like he got some stuff on his mind. So the game does a good job of this. It kind of gives the characters' backgrounds piecemeal, so you don't get like a large exposition dump. They'll give out little bits of their history throughout the game, so you're not forced to watch like a long, like 10-15 minute cutscene where everything gets dumped all at once. So right here we're getting a little bit of some background. We got his mother there on the right, Stella, and his father looks like is apparently also a crystal guardian, but he doesn't want RASAR to follow in his footsteps. But you know, that's another mystery for another time. What was it? Was his father a crystal guardian, and why doesn't he want RASAR to follow in his footsteps? So, well, like I said, we'll learn that you know, in the future. So, just like we'll learn more about Captain Ferris, Princess Lena, and Gallup as he recovers from his amnesia. That was a little tongue twister there. Had some trouble saying that. But hey, what's Zoc doing there? Hey, you can't sneak up on sleeping princesses. Now Zoc's just checking up on her there. And this is where he hears that sleep talking, basically saying that she has to protect the crystals. And I guess seeing that devotion in her makes him reconsider. He said he gave that little fib there that, you know, he lost the key, but apparently he has the key, and now that he knows that the princess is committed, he gives the key to RASAR. But luckily RASAR isn't going to tell the princess that you know, Zoc was telling a fib there, so that way he, you know, helps, he doesn't strain their relationship. So it sounds like they're old friends at least. So, and once we complete this cutscene, we can now move on with the game. We could have left the town earlier, but nothing would have happened. We couldn't really go anywhere. Captain Ferris would have rejoined our party. But now that we got the key to the canal that we got to go to, when we try to leave town, Captain Ferris is basically gonna dismiss his crew and tell them to, stick back here and guard the hideout and, guard this town. So yeah, here he is, basically telling the crew that, hey, this is gonna be a long journey, and I don't know when I'll be back, and until then, it's up to you to take care of the hideout, the base of operations. And they can also take care of RASAR's chocobo, Boko. He's back at the pirate hideout. Remember, he's the doctor's taking care of his wounds. He got injured apparently trying to follow us into the pirate cave. And with this now, we're able to head off. Now the area that we're going to be in is still, self-contained, so it's not really hard to get lost, and you shouldn't get lost, and easy to find the canal. It's basically just to the east of the town here, so all you have to do is just head over to the east and you'll be fine. In-game, our characters don't have a world map yet. We're going to get one later, in a little bit actually, but there's maps online. Luckily, at this point in the game right now, there's no random encounters in the sea. So, in the future, there'll be random encounters in the sea, but right now, it's free, so we don't have to worry about it. We're still kind of, like I said, in the beginning stages of this game. It's still kind of the, tutorial area. They're not going to bombard you with, long, complex dungeons or areas with a lot of monsters in it. You're just learning the basics. Our characters just got their first job, so we're still in the walking phase. But it'll pick up, so. But here, basically, all our characters are just basically saying that they're recommitting themselves to the goal here of saving the crystals and keeping the world safe. And with that, we are headed off to the canal. Sure thing, gal. Just like you said. Let's be off. So like I said, just a straight shot over to the east. And there's looks like a little mouth there. You just head into there. And RASAR's gonna unlock the canal. This is pretty neat, like little dungeon. We kind of went into a, kind of like when you step onto a town. There's a small little icon, you step on the town, and, it blows up, it zooms in. Kind of like here. We went into the canal, and then it kind of did a zoom in area. So, it's kind of like a little dungeon. Dungeon in the sense that, we're moving around, and there would be random encounters, but it's a straight linear path. So no worries about getting lost. Won't have to pick up any treasures, but we will want to encounter the 2 new enemies here if you're going for a full bestiary. So we have the only 2 enemies in here are these squids and octopuses. The squids here are weak to lightning. So if you're using the black mage, you can use your lit spell that you would have bought in Tule. And let's see if we can get the other enemy here. Here we go. We got the octocrack in there in the back. So his stats will pop up once you get some room. There we go. Surprisingly, he's not weak to lightning, but he has so few hit points that most classes shouldn't have a problem taking him out. So yeah, these monsters are still pretty easy. But like I said, we're still in the walking phase. Now at this point, if you're taking a lot of damage, you'll want to, before you head down that little one tile path there, you want to heal up because we got a boss monster here coming. This boss monster, like the sucker enemies there, is weak to lightning. That's going to be a common theme in this game. Machine enemies and enemies in the sea will be weak to lightning elemental. Undead monsters and ice-based monsters, they will be weak to fire. And lizard-type enemies and fire enemies will be weak to the ice elemental. And then a lot of flying monsters will be weak to wind elemental. That's a blue magic, and then the oath spell is kind of not really a group that's really necessarily weak to that, but there will be some enemies that are weak to it. I'll be pointing out all the weaknesses when I put up the stats for the bosses here, as I've been doing. So this guy's not too hard. He does have one attack that can paralyze your characters and bring them down to low hit points. But at this point, no matter what class you're using, shouldn't be too much of a trouble unless you're using like all white mages or maybe all thieves, because they can't really do too much damage. They're more like support type classes. But our fists were able to take him down pretty easily there. It also helped take him out. The monk has that good ability to counter. 50% of the time, if the monk is hit by a physical attack, it will counter with a hit. So it's basically getting free hits in, so that's nice. What's not nice is apparently the monster that we just defeated, the boss there, is pulling Sildra into the whirlpool with her. So I told that the canal monster liked to attack women. Well, we know that Sildra was a gold dragon. Now, oh no, now Sildra's gonna be gone. What's our boat gonna do? And more importantly, is Sildra gonna make it out alive? Uh-oh. We'll have to find the answers to that in a little bit, but in the meantime, without Sildra pulling the boat and without the wind to move, like RASAR just said there, ship is just gonna drift with the current. Wonder where we'll end up? We're gonna end up in one of the neatest dungeons, I think, in all the Final Fantasy series. So this is one of my favorite dungeons. So sadly, this game has some good dungeons, but then also some really bad dungeons. These first two dungeons, well, not counting the Wind Shrine, are pretty neat. So, and the pirate hideout, you know, that wasn't really a dungeon, but this canal and this one coming up is going to be pretty neat. But for now, we're just stuck drifting on the sea. How are we going to pass the time drifting on the sea? We can watch a commercial for rabbit and small animal rescues. They transform the neglected, abused, unwanted, and abandoned, like that bunny there, into the loved, sheltered, happy, and content. Like that bunny right there. That bunny was a rescue. I got their picture from the webpage. But right now, it looks like we're going to need some rescuing, because our boat, it drifted into the dreaded ship graveyard. Woo! It's spooky. Yeah, this, since it's a graveyard, it's going to be a lot of undead monsters. Undead monsters, like I mentioned a little earlier, they're going to be weak to the fire elemental. So if you have a black mage, use fire spells. Or if you have a white mage, you can use cure spells. Cure damages undead, like, because they're the opposite of life. The cure heals living things. It hosts undead. Speaking of healing, this is a longer dungeon, but it's nice because they give us 2 free healing points. We start here out on Captain Faris's ship, and remember, the brig was to the left in that initial cutscene when we first tried to steal the ship, but his room was over to the right. So if we go over to that room, we can get a free sleep. Galuf should have let the princess sleep in the bed. But I guess he figured age before beauty. So, but yeah, this is a free point where we can heal up. If you have a weak class, if you're doing like a 4-job Fiesta and you have a weaker class like a thief or a white mage, this is kind of be a good place to grind because you have this free healing there. Because your physical attacks ain't going to do too much damage. Your level does play a role in how much damage your physical attacks do, so it's a good place to grind and gain some hit points and increase your attack, get more attack multipliers. The flail there, that's a good weapon for the white mage. It's kind of an inconsistent weapon though. It has like a weird damage floor and ceiling, so it does random damage, but it couldn't, you know, when you get a good strike with it, it can deal a lot of damage, so. Alright, here's the first two of 4 new enemies that we can meet in this area. We have the skeleton there. Obviously you can tell which one that one is. Then we have this Calca type monster. It looks like a water elemental. So it'll be weak to lightning, but it resists fire, so that means that fire won't hurt it. And then it absorbs water. If an enemy absorbs the element, it will heal it. So yeah, if you hit it with water, it would just gain hit points back. Hit it with fire, you wouldn't damage it. So, I'm going to sneak in this room here real quick, grab another tent. But we won't be needing any tents because we'll be getting that free healing eventually a little bit later. But before we get to the second free healing spot, I'm going to have to go through some water. And looks like Captain Faris, he doesn't want to go that way. A pirate who can't swim or a pirate who's afraid of water. Luckily, our characters can hold their breath for a real long time, so we can hang out for a while under the water. Now we see this box here, it has like a skull on it, but don't be scared. There's almost 1,000 gil in that, so that'll be good. That'll be good for buying potions, because right now potions are really the only way we have to heal ourselves. We're away from an inn or a save point, so... Go into this way here. I made a little mistake there. I went the wrong way first. We want to go to the north door first. We can pick up that Phoenix Down treasure. That way, if a character is knocked out in battle, or they go down to 0 hit points, your character goes to a knocked out state, like a swoon state. And the Phoenix Down revives them and gets them back on their feet. Think of it like, you know, like you're a boxer or a martial artist or something, and you get knocked out. They pull out that summoning, salt, the smelling salts, and it wakes you up. So, well, here we are. We're in our second free healing point, and time to dry off our clothes. Lena, being the only girl, is gonna be like, I'm gonna change it over here. I don't know where she has dry clothes because everything we went into was wet. So, Rasar's gonna be nice and build a little fire here. Oh, what a good boy. Taking care of all his friends, just like how rabbit and small animals take care of all those neglected animals. But it appears that Captain Faris, he don't want to get dry. He's putting up a struggle. Uh-oh, what happened? Yeah, what's all the commotion? Uh-oh, what's this? Captain Faris is really a goal! Yeah, I accidentally let it slip at the end of the last video, but I was hoping that nobody caught it, so I tried to keep it a secret. But yeah, Captain Faris is really a girl, and she hid her gender because she was afraid to be the only girl in a whole bunch of boy pirates. So, like she said, would you want to be the only girl on a ship full of pirates? Well, I guess not, but I don't know. I am the only girl right now since my sister Prin is in heaven. I'm the only girl right now with all the boy rats, but that's okay. They've accepted me, and I'm sure that RASAR and Galif and Lena, they'll accept you just for who you are. Yep. I think the world would be a nicer place, you know, if we just learned to accept people for who they are, and not necessarily try to change them and, you know, force them to conform to, you know, what we think they should be. So, also be nicer if everyone was nicer to the animals and the critters. Yeah. So, well, Faris is taking charge like the captain she is, and Galif's being silly. He's having trouble getting out of bed. So yeah, right here, we have our free healing, so any hit points we would have lost, we would have healed up here. And there's a save point coming up right here, so if you want to do more grinding, you can save here and use some of those tents that we got. We got a tent for free from the last boss, and we also found a tent in one of the treasures here. So one of the reasons some people like to grind here is because one of the enemies coming up, one of the last enemies we have to meet, not this one, we have the Mind Flusher up there. As soon as I clear out this Calculus, there we go, we can see its stats. Can't steal anything from it, but it can drop a good flame scroll, which is a ninja elemental attack. Ninjas, that's a job we're going to be able to use later on. It's one of the ones that got selected for this job fair. So that would have been nice if we would have dropped it. But speaking of nice drops, one of the enemies, the final enemy that we have to encounter in here, drops an item called the elixir. And the elixir is really good, especially at the end game, because what the elixir does is it heals a character's magic points and hit points to their full value. So yeah, toward the end of the game, before I get into that, we want to stop and grab this world map here. So now when we go to the outside, when we get out of this dungeon, when we're back on the world map, we can press, I think, the X button, and it'll summon up a map of the world, and we can see where we are and where our destination is. So here's that last enemy I wanted to talk about, the Undead Husk. It drops that elixir. It's good for the end of the game when you have like a lot of hit points in the 4-digit range, and you know, regular potions and high potions ain't gonna be able to cut, you know, your healing. So an elixir is a good way to get your character back to top MP and top hit points. So hey, we were lucky. We got an elixir there. So I think it might be a 1 in 5 drop for the elixir. So it's not that hard to farm them, so. But they're not all that useful right now because potions and ethers can do the job because we're still low level. Here's a treasure chest, but this one doesn't have treasure, but it does open the way forward. Now on our way forward here, before we get to the top of the ship, we want to make sure that we heal ourselves with any damage that we would have taken. So, because once we step in front of those rocks, we'll go into like an auto cutscene, and we're going to encounter a boss. So, heal ourselves up, use those potions. Potions are our only way of healing because I had to use the monk class. So, we're limited to the monk class thanks to the Fiesta. Limitations that I'm playing under. So there's Estella. Remember her from earlier? That's RASAR's mom. And for some reason she's here in this graveyard. This ship graveyard. And now we got, who's this appearing? It's King Tycoon. What's he doing here in the graveyard? I know he disappeared in the Wind Shrine. And why is Faris going over with Lena over to see King Tycoon? And who's this girl? We haven't seen her yet. Apparently she's Galva's granddaughter. Who's that? He can't remember. Yeah, remember, he has amnesia. And it's a good thing he has that amnesia because the amnesia is the only thing that's going to keep him from falling under the spell of the boss of this area. Ooh, the evil siren. So, she wants to steal our character's souls, but uh-oh, Galv ain't gonna let that happen. Nuh-uh. Nope, because he's a good friend. So, yep, no, he's going to snap the RASAR, Lena, and Faris out of their stupor, I guess you can say, and wake them up, and we're gonna hit our boss. And this boss is going to show us a gimmick that a lot of bosses are going to go through later on in the game. It's called phase changes. So this boss here, Siren, is going to have 2 different phases, and depending on the class is that you're playing as, determines maybe when you want to attack. So the battle starts off with Siren in her normal phase right here. During the normal phase, she's very susceptible to physical attacks. So if you're using a class like the Monk, like we have, the Knight, the Thief, maybe even the Blue Mage, if you don't have any blue magic spells, this is the time when you want to really attack Siren. Now, after a certain amount of time, Siren is going to change forms. And when she changes form, she's going to change her weakness. She'll also change what she drops. So depending on when you defeat her, will determine her drop. Right now, if we defeat her when she's normal, she'll drop bronze armor. It's good armor for your knight. If you defeat her when she's the undead here, she changed colors. She'll drop a bronze shield. Doesn't matter. Both of them are available pretty soon in the next town. Now, when she turns to an undead, she gains the weakness of fire and holy, but we don't have any of those spells. If you're a white mage, you can use your cure on it. Black mage, you use your fire. Also, her attacks become more magical based, so you'll notice that our monks are taking a lot more damage. Melee-oriented classes, like monks, knights, they tend to have good defense, but they tend to have bad magic defense. Magical classes like the white mage, the black mage, they tend to have better magical defense and weaker physical defense. It's like, because they know how magic works, they can kind of defend against it. So, it's much easier to fight Siren in the undead phase if you're mage characters. But now, luckily, she turned back into her regular form. Good thing she doesn't change, her hit points don't restore. She shares, doesn't matter what form she's in, she shares that same common pool of 900 hit points. So, and Galf just did like a third of it right there. That's the power of that focus thing. So, we defeated her in her regular form, so we got the bronze armor. And with that, we will wrap up this episode. We'll finish off by just leaving here, heading out onto the world map, make a save game, and then we'll pick up right outside the ship graveyard in our next episode. But of course, as always, before we leave, we're going to close out with another commercial for RASAR. So, oh, here's one other thing too. Status ailments carry over from battle into the screen, so if you have an ailment, you're going to heal it after your battle. So, alright, let's end it here. Take care, thanks for following along, and let's see what RASAR does again here, the Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue. Once again, just letting you know that they do lots of good work transforming those neglected animals into loved, happy, sheltered, and content creatures. So, alright, well, take care. I'll see you in our next episode. Bye!